Hello students, welcome to CS Academy. In this session, we will discuss the most important topic that is rotation versus vortex motion. Many students have doubt that what is the difference between rotation and vortex motion. We will clear in this session with the best examples and the best explanation. Okay. To understand the difference between rotation and vortex motion, let us consider a glass with some water present in the glass like this, and this glass of water is kept in a room. Okay, and if I ask you the question, let us consider this is water present in the glass. If I ask you the question, is there any rotation in water present in the glass? Okay, listen carefully. Is there any rotation in the water present in the glass? Many students will think that they will feel that the water is present in the stationary glass. How the water will rotate? And they will feel that they will tell it may not rotation in the glass. Yes or no? But let me tell here, there may be a chance of atmospheric air will affect on the water present in the glass, and there may be a fan or any some external agents are present in the room that will affect on the water, and because of that one, the water particles or water element which is present in the water will move. But because of this microscopic, we cannot able to see it. Yes or no? Now here the word rotation and vortex. If you see the word rotation, here it is belongs to fluid element. It is belongs to fluid element. If you see the vortex motion, it belongs to bulk of fluid. It belongs to bulk of fluid. Bulk means is a huge amount of fluid. But here if you see, it is a rotation belongs to a fluid element. Fluid element means there may be some fluid element like this, and it may rotate, but we can't observe it. But in case of vortex motion, we can easily observe with a naked eye. Yes or no? Here there are two different things are there. The first one is a fluid element. The first one is a fluid element. The second one is a bulk of fluid. Okay, bulk of fluid. If you see the differences between this fluid element and bulk of fluid here, okay, if this fluid element is a group of fluid particles, bulk of fluid is nothing but a huge amount of fluid. It's a bulk amount, very large amount of fluid. Okay, if you see here, the fluid element, the motion of the fluid element is a microscopic. But if you see the bulk of fluid, that motion of this bulk of fluid is a macroscopic approach. Okay, as we know, the microscopic approach is the nothing but of we cannot sense it, we cannot able to see it, we cannot watch it. That is, we cannot visually observe it. Okay, microscopic is nothing but of whenever the fluid element is rotating or whenever its fluid element is moving, we cannot visually observe it. But in case of bulk of fluid, we can easily observe. It. Okay. And here, if you see this fluid element, because of it is a microscopic point of view, here we can't sense it, we can't visually observe it. So it requires some magnifying elements to visually observe it. But here there is no need of any magnifying elements because we can easily observe it. And the main rotation, the definition for this rotation you can see here. Okay, if any fluid element is moving, okay, if any fluid element is moving in the water but without any external agent, and if we cannot able to observe it, then it is called rotation. Listen carefully here, very important question here. Any fluid element which is moving without any external factors and we cannot able to observe it or we cannot able to visually observe it, then it is called rotation. Okay, this is the best definition for this rotation. Okay, if you see the bulk of a fluid, that is the vortex motion, similar to the rotation, but here because of this bulk of fluid, here bulk of fluid is moving with some external factors or whatever it may be by itself or okay, and we can easily observe it we can easily observe it, then it is called vortex motion. Here the difference between is, here the fluid element is moving, but we are not able to see it, we cannot be able to visually observe it. But here bulk of fluid is moving, but we can easily observe it. So here, even though we are not able to observe, but we can use some magnifying elements, and here whichever is moving and we cannot able to observe it, then it is called rotation, and whichever is bulk of fluid is moving and we can easily observe it, that is called vortex motion. Okay, and we can denote this rotation with the symbol omega like this. And double of this rotation is nothing but of vorticity. Double of this rotation is nothing but of vorticity. Here this is the mathematical point of view. I will explain you the physical meaning here. Okay, and this is vorticity and rotation. As I told before, the fluid element is a group of fluid particles. As I told before, fluid element is nothing but of a group of fluid particles. Here this fluid particle has no size. Okay, it is a minor one, it has no size. But because of group of fluid particles, we are getting the fluid element, it has some size. Okay, it has some size. So because of it is having some size, I can represent this fluid element in the coordinate system. Okay, like this. Let us consider this is x and y coordinate system like this, and this is the fluid element. This is, let us consider dx, and this is dy. And if I represent this dz like this, let us consider this is dz. So because of it is having some size, I can easily represent in the coordinate system. Generally, in microscopic point of view, the fluid particle, because of it is having no size, we cannot analyze the fluid particle. But the fluid element, because of it is having some size, we can easily analyze this one. Okay, but the physics people will analyze the fluid particles. But engineers, as we are engineers, we cannot analyze fluid particles, and we can analyze fluid element here. As we know, engineers deals mostly the macroscopic point. Engineers deals mostly the macroscopic point. Okay, so it is having we can easily observe, we can easily visualize this macroscopic point of view, so that engineers define the fluid size. Now we will see the physical meaning of rotation here. Here, as we know, rotation belongs to fluid element. As we know, rotation belongs to fluid element here. And if I represent in the x and y coordinate like this, listen carefully, it is very, very important. You cannot get this information from anywhere. And here, let us consider this is the fluid element here. Let us consider the sides are OA, AB, BC like this. Okay, because of some external factors like atmospheric air or fan or whatever it may be present in the room. Okay, because of that one, the fluid element may rotate, but we cannot visualize it. That's it only. So that we cannot tell that it is not rotation. The fluid element is rotating in the fluid, but here we are not able to visualize it, means we cannot tell that the fluid element is not rotating. Okay, and here if you see, the fluid element will rotate like this. Let us consider this is A dash, and this is B dash, and let us consider this is C dash. Okay, like this. And here if you see the angle of rotation, let us consider here theta 1, and here let us consider theta 2. And we will represent here the fluid element here will rotate around the z axis like this. Let us consider this is the z axis, and the fluid element is rotating like this. If you see the rotation about this z axis, that is omega z, is equal to the average of this rotation, that is theta 1 plus theta 2. That is average of this that is theta 1 plus theta 2. Average of this angle of rotation. Okay, if we see here, as we know, theta is nothing but of slope of the any particle or slope of the any line. As if you see here, this is the vertical and this is the horizontal. This is, let us consider this is the dx, and let us consider this is the dy. Okay, as we know that theta is nothing but of dy by dx. Okay, as if you see here, for theta 1, this is the dy and this is the dx. Dx is nothing but of length of the fluid element. If we say dy, as we know, the velocity vector, that is u I bar plus v j bar plus w k bar. Yes or no? As it is a dy component, it is a velocity component, we can write it as a v. That is theta 1 is nothing but of dv by dx. As is rotating in the positive coordinate system, we can put it as a plus. If you see here, it is rotating in the negative coordinate system, and we can keep it as a theta 2, that is a negative. And here if you see here, this is the horizontal axis and this is the vertical axis for this rotation, theta 2. And here for theta 2 it is the horizontal, that is nothing but of u, so we can represent a du by dy. Okay, this is the theta 1 and theta 2 here. And if we represent these two in this equation, that is omega z equal to of, that is the average of theta 1 plus theta 2. Theta 1 is nothing but of dv by dx and theta 2 nothing but of minus du by dx. This is the equation for the representing of rotation of this fluid element about the z axis. Okay, up to here we derived this, we calculate this formula. And if I ask you the question whether the fluid element is rotating or not, how can we tell? At that time what we have to do is, we should take this velocity vector, that is u I bar plus v j bar plus w k bar. If I give you u equal for example 2xy, let us consider, and v is nothing but of let us consider xy plus z, let us consider this one. And here what should you do means, you should derive partially this u and v, and after that you will get the omega z here. If omega z is equal to 0, that means there is no any rotation. If omega z is 0 means there is no any rotation. If omega z is not equal to 0, then there is some rotation. There is some value for the rotation of this fluid element. Okay, and here because of this is a microscopic point of view, we cannot sense it, we cannot observe it, so that we can calculate this rotation with the help of the formula only. With the help of the formula, because of it is we are not able to observe it, because of it is a microscopic point of view, so that we can calculate this rotation, how much it is rotated, we can calculate with the help of the formula only. As the fluid element is rotating about the z axis, we calculated omega z here, but we should know omega x and omega y also. For that what we have to do is, omega is nothing but of 1 by 2 of this I bar, j bar, k bar, dou by dou x, dou by dou y, and dou by dou z, and here u, v, w. Okay, from this we can get omega x is nothing but of dou w by dou y minus, okay, dou w by dou y minus dou v by dou z. Like this we can calculate omega y and omega z also. The total combination of this omega x, y, z, we can give that rotational vector, that is omega equal to omega x I bar plus omega y j bar plus omega z k bar. This is the rotational vector with the omega x and y and z, the rotation of all the coordinate systems. Okay. Now for the vorticity, that is if we multiply with 2, the rotation is multiplied with 2, then we will get the vorticity here. That is as we know here, we can write it as a of del cross v bar. Okay, of del cross v bar. So here that is nothing but of omega, as we can write it as a omega. If 2 will come that side, that del cross v bar is nothing but of 2 into omega. Like this, for 2 into omega we can write it as a del cross v bar. In the question in the AE, AE exams like that, they will ask that vorticity can be represented as option A omega, option B 2 omega, option C del cross v bar, option D 1 by 2 del cross v bar. Like this they will give questions. Here if you see vorticity, you can represent with 2 omega or del cross v bar. Sometimes they will ask both B and C, like this here in D option. Okay, remember these things very important for the APPS exams. Up to here we learn this rotation and vorticity. Okay, but there is one more concept here, circulation. For that we will learn here. And here we know that there is one glass of water here, like this. There is one glass of water. The water is present in the glass of stationary. And if I will supply some heat at the input like this, let us consider I am supplying some heat. Okay, and for the preparation of tea, if I want to prepare some tea, okay, what I will do here, I will put some tea particles. I will pour some tea particles in this water. Okay, after some time, if you see the tea particles that are present in this water will rotate like this. Yes or no? Will rotate like this. If I ask you the question, here the fluid that is T particles are rotating because of that heat energy is converted into rotational energy here. That is, heat energy is converted into rotation energy. Okay, because of rotational energy, the fluid that heat T particles are rotating in the water. Okay, but if I ask you the question here, as we know, the rotation is a microscopic point of view. We cannot sense it. We cannot observe the rotation. But here these T particles are rotating, yes or no? Then what is it? Either it is a rotation or vorticity, or what is this one? If I ask you a question, what you will tell? So here that is nothing but it is a circulation. Circulation is nothing but it is a macroscopic approach. It's not a microscopic, it is a macroscopic approach. As we know, macroscopic approach means we can easily observe it, we can easily sense it. Okay, so for the circulation we can write it as we will represent like this, and circulation is nothing but vorticity into area. Vorticity is nothing but 2 into omega. It can also be written as del cross V bar into area. Okay, what is the area means? The fluid particles rotating in this like this direction, circulation, circular direction, like this. Okay, let us consider this is the radius r for this glass. Okay, the rotational area, that means that is circulation area, that is nothing but pi into r square. So we can represent this circulation like this, 2 into omega into pi r square. Okay, this is the physical meaning here. Okay, whenever we are able to observe, we are able to sense the fluid particles which are rotating. Okay, then it is a circulation, and it is a macroscopic point of view. And here, if we are not able to sense it, we are not able to observe it, then it belongs to microscopic approach, that is rotation and vorticity. Okay, here I represented this microscopic approach. The examples are rotation and vorticity. But here for macroscopic approach, I gave that examples, vortex motion, and this is circulation. Okay, vortex motion and circulation. Again, this vortex motion is divided into 2 types. That is, the first one is free vortex and the second one is forced vortex. Okay, the first one is free vortex and second one is forced vortex here. And here forced vortex, the best example is washing machine. If we see in washing machine, the bulk of fluid is rotating like this. The bulk of fluid is rotating like this from the center source. Okay, bulk of fluid is rotating with some external agency. It is making the rotation. So it is called forced vortex. Okay, if we see free vortex, the best example is wash basin. Let us consider there is one wash basin like this. Okay, there is some holes under this wash basin. If you just close these holes and just fill full of water here, after filling the full of water, just open these holes and the water will rotate like this. Without any external agency, the water will rotate like this. This is nothing but a free vortex. This is the best example is wash basin, and forced vortex best example is washing machine, grinders, mixie, or like this. Okay, this is the best differences between this rotation, vorticity, circulation, and vortex motion. And in the next session, we will see what is the exact difference between this free vortex and forced vortex, and how can we differentiate between these two things. What are the best examples? Elaborately, we can see in the next video. Okay, so thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe. Please like the videos. Share to your friends. Thank you. Thanks a lot.